Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and this is the tarot and witchy miscellaneous wrap-up video for October. Sometimes to just cheer me up, I used the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot. I'm rewatching the show now. I think I'm on season 4, I think. I did watch this episode recently. And I'd love to find out somehow if the guidebook for the mini is fixed, because the guidebook for this has issues, but the actual deck itself is really good. It's just really well thought out and beautiful, and I love it. And it's very purple and makes me happy, so yeah, this is my just for fun cheer me up sort of deck. It just makes me smile whenever I look at it, so except the mayor. I don't like the mayor. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this except it's cute. And oh, there's Tara. I like her. I'll leave her on top. So that's my when I need cheering up in the fall deck. The other decks I've been using are, I made myself a Prairie Herbalist tarot of plants I use in either herbalism or connecting with plant spirits and whatnot. And I've been using this a lot lately. Chickweed is adorable. Look at that. It's so cute. I love trembling aspens too. So these are basically my favorite plants to work with and get to know. And so I've been using this quite a lot. I'm very happy I made it and made a revised version that works much better for me. So yeah, thrilled with this. I'm still working on a winter edition. I have maybe at least half, maybe 2/3 of the plants now in their sort of winter state. It is November 1st as I'm filming this, so all of my little garden plants are looking a bit worse for wear, but the native plants are actually still kind of fine. They can deal with hard frosts and a little bit of snow. Like the basil is not so good at the moment, but the prairie sage, totally fine. Bearberry, also fine. So I have to wait until it gets properly wintry to get some more of the photos. But I'm hoping to print that out to use sometime this winter. We'll see. Winter does go on for a while in Canada. It's a long process. So yeah, that is, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I had trouble finding pineapple weed in the fall. I don't know where it went. It was all over the place in the spring, and then poof, disappeared. So I'm not sure what that's about. One other deck that I've been using is the Tarot of Persephone's Garden. And I've only been using tarot a little bit this month. But I've used this a bit because it's got an interesting mix of both spring and fall in it. Of both growth and decay. And that decay is maybe not very pretty, but it's sure an interesting experience having a garden just out my balcony window and watching the plants decay and return to the earth and then fertilize the plants for the next year. It's such an interesting process, and it's a totally different thing to experience it than it is to read about it. So yeah, I'm using this deck a lot for that, and it's beautiful. Love it. The last couple, I've got, this is the table I actually work at when I work from home. And I've got a little tarot stand here, and I've been using the Guardian of the Night tarot. And this I've just used a very little bit, but it's so beautiful. And I love the artwork. I love the color scheme. It's really well done. Sorry, my throat went a little funny there for a second. That's great. But I haven't used it a ton. So I wanted to get to know it a little bit more. And I think maybe I'll keep, I love this one, keep using this into November. I think. I expect. Probably. We'll see. But yeah, this is such a beautiful deck. I love this card too. There's a lot in here that I'd need to maybe sit with and learn more about, but there's a lot that I really like too, so that's that one. And then the last one, so I was gonna do the Drop 'em 78 challenge, and then I fell off the bus almost immediately. So I've gone through all the pentacles now, but I'm not really doing it in the way that you're meant to do the Drop 'em 78 challenge. I'm basically just reading the Tarot guidebook. So maybe this weekend, if I have time. I mean, I could make time, but I also want to start reading Gothland November stuff and work on a couple other things, so we shall see. But I've gone through the pentacles and I want to go through the wands next, because some of the people, like Pearl Primus, I don't know. I don't know those people. I don't know her. I don't know any of these people. Is that a Filipino name? Her I know. And I always find that once I know about them, they just all fit so well. It's a really well thought out deck. And I love the artwork. It's beautiful. But there are a lot of people in the wands here who I do not know. That name sounds familiar. Why does that name sound familiar? I don't know. So does that one. She was a jazz singer, wasn't she? Cleopatra, Keeper of Wands. Yeah, okay, that works. So yeah, I'm really enjoying working through the guidebook. It's an exceptional guidebook, and I really want to get to a point where I can just use the deck as a deck and not a like one card pull situation. Oh, my computer went all dark. All right, so the non-tarot things, if I can scroll down. Come on. Oh yeah, I went to a few things this month, which I don't always do because I'm not a very sociable person, but I did sociable people things this month. I went to a literary festival, which was fun. And then the shop, there's a metaphysical shop near me that had a witching hour event on, I think October 28th or thereabouts. So I went to that, and this was one of the gifts that you got. It's got a combination of allspice, calendula, mugwort, cinnamon, and putka pods. I don't know what those are. I will have to look them up. But the rest is a pretty interesting combination that I would not think to use together. And I'm not entirely sure what I'll use it for. But I have it now. And then I got, and these were very cheap, as they should be. You can spend stupid amounts of money for used horseshoes on Etsy. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. I think this was like $3 or something. It should not be expensive. But anyway, I'd been wanting to get one to put over my door, because that is a traditional Irish sort of protection. And then they also had, and this was also very cheap, some rusty coffin nails. And it came with a write-up that I've stored away for the time being. But yeah, that is pretty interesting. And then I got this mini replica raven skull by Alchemy Vault. I've never heard of that person and or company, but it's very cool. I like it. There was a bigger, like a almost life-sized one, but it had all sorts of occult symbols drawn in it, and I just preferred the plain one, so that's what I got. I got, oops, this, I used to get a subscription box from Hagswag, but they sort of disappeared off the face of the earth a few months ago. However, this metaphysical shop still sells some of their stuff. And this is a sacred space, self-love, altar, mindfulness, ritual candle with rose quartz and rose in it. And I really like their candles. They're very pretty and well made, and yeah, I enjoy using them. And the container is nice, and I can reuse it for all sorts of things, which is an added perk. And then the last things I got were a few lovely rocks, black tourmaline. These have been polished, which is, as I understand it, fairly unusual because they usually splinter apart. Just a clear quartz, and then a smoky quartz, which is so cool. Yep, I like this one a lot. And then I'd read Walking the Twilight Path, A Gothic Book of the Dead by Michelle Belanger, and I went through that in my books that I read wrap-up video, so I won't go over it again. But one of the sort of projects is to make a little pouch of death-related items. So I've done that. I've got a rock from a cemetery near me, a few plants, and a few coins in case I ever take this to a cemetery. Yeah, that's that. What else have I got? Oh yeah, I went to a concert this month, which was really fun. It's an opera singer friend of mine, Brett Polagato, who did a concert, and Edna St. Vincent Millay's poems were set to music. Oh, it was incredible. Loved it. She's my all-time favorite poet. Her sonnets are incredible. What else was interesting? So Rachel at Second Thoughts About the Mission has read Moby Dick. So I actually went through all my opera files and found the recording of Moby Dick and put it on my phone and just in Dropbox. I really need to convert them into smaller MP3 files because they're the video files for the archival production. And but the music is so much fun. So yeah, enjoying that. What else? I cut up a whole bunch of roughly 1 inch, I didn't actually measure anything, sticks, because one of my winter projects, I think, is going to be learning about the Ogham. I've got a couple of books, and I want to write the letters on each of these and practice them. And I might do what I did with the runes and make collages for each of them, but I'm not sure yet. Still to be determined. And then I made some, there we go, rowan sort of protection charms. So these are just rowan berries on red threads, which are also an Irish tradition as I understand it. These ones were from earlier in the fall, so they're a bit orange and not quite as ripe and tiny and fully dried. These ones are still in the process of drying, so I've got them hanging on my wall at the moment, but I've strung them onto a couple of threads, and yeah, they are happily drying out on my wall. It's been a really interesting tree to get to know because it's not native to this area, and at first I wasn't sure if it wanted any sort of human anything to do with humans, but it's actually been quite interesting. Slow process though, I find. What else? When I did any sort of Seder work, I used the hot chocolate that I'd previously been using, and also got some Saskatoon berry hot apple cider. It's a non-alcoholic one, just from a local-ish farm. I think they're in Saskatchewan, actually. I'd have to look them up. Anyway, Saskatoon berries are my favorite. And and I made some crabapple cider as well. Just one pot worth, because there weren't a ton of crab apples this year. So I only picked a few and made some cider and gave some to my garden and then had the rest. And yeah, that was fun. What else? Oh yeah, and I harvested a bunch of herbs. So now I've got an excess of jars of dried herbs that I've got to use up. I'll have to be more particular maybe about what I grow in the spring. I have not done any work on my shawl. I've got a loom just off screen next to me that way. I haven't done any work on that, but that's partly because I got sidetracked. So I started making my own herbarium, and I won't get it out. I'll maybe insert some pictures if I remember, but it's in the freezer at the moment in a garbage bag that's sealed up to kill any bugs that might remain on the plants, because I just don't need those in my living room and eating the plants and so on. So basically it's going to be in the freezer for 3 weeks. I'll take it out for 2 weeks and then I'll put it back in for another week to kill any larvae from any eggs that have hatched. So that was a fun project, but it took a couple of weeks of pressing plants and then gluing them on to cardstock. It's quite a simple process though, it just takes time. It's just PVA glue and cardstock. They just have to be acid free, like, so you can archive them and the acid won't turn the plants brown or anything. And I got a photo album to put them all in, which I'll show you later once I take it out of the freezer. And then I got, oh wait, I'll show you these first. Look at this guy. She's so cute. It's a little octopus that's purple, because I need more purple in my life. And a miniature cat that's got a moon and stars and everything on it. She is adorable. She sits on my desk here and keeps me company at work. And now, one other thing that I have been doing is listening to sort of witchy podcasts. One of my favorites is the Embracing Magic one. I'm really kind of passively on the lookout for these sort of conversational witchy podcasts about other people's practices by people who are older than me, because a lot of the videos I watch are by people younger than me, which is fine. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I'm at the time in my life where I turn 40 next year, and I'm interested in perspectives of people who are older. Like a lot of witches online are in their 20s or maybe in their 30s. There are a few that I watch in their 30s. But yeah, I'm really enjoying listening to ones. There's a Coffee with Crones one as well. It's quite fun. So I'm kind of on the lookout for any more along those lines. I don't know if there are more out there, but that would be cool. And then the last thing is actually I'm gonna go handheld for this. So apologies for my lack of cinematography skills. Okay, so I've started getting back into collage making lately, and I had been storing all of my stuff in one of those containers that slides under a couch, but my couch is a bit old and has some structural issues that have been managed, but not in a way that really allows a container to fit under the couch anymore. So I needed another option, and so I got this little filing cabinet thing that can fit under my desk. These, oh, I should stick these in the freezer too. These are a couple of bigger buffalo berry plants and a couple of magazines that don't fit. Oh, the Pirates one I just haven't put in, but these two other art books don't fit in the drawers, so it's just a little thing. But basically, I'll collapse that in a bit. I've got my sort of glue supplies in here. And an old passport. I might do something with that. Some boards and cards and things to put things onto. And, oops, there we go. Miscellaneous books and things that don't really fit anywhere else. And a few decks that I might recycle into other uses, and some more cards to do, because I really like doing mini collages. That's my thing. and then supplies. So I've got, basically the first ones have been sorted, so I can pull out certain types of images depending on what I want. And then these ones are just texture, for texture, different types of paper and background and stuff. Some tarot boxes that I've broken down. These are the larger magazines that I've disassembled the magazine but haven't cut out the photos yet. And then these are some magazines and books and things that I just haven't chopped up yet. So that is my new project, and I may get out some of this sort of size card. And Astoria Zen, I think it was doing a video on making her own Ancestor cards recently, so I'm thinking I might do that. I've got over here my grandma's cedar chest, and there are a bunch of papers in there that some of them I want to keep just for family history reasons, but some of them I got, you know, many copies of all sorts of things, so I can get rid of some of that and start making some crafts. Yeah, so that's what I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.